happy to give you an on the spot, deputy CEO job at Peak, should you wish to consider a dual career. So Manoj, I was very keen because I don't think anybody else does a better job than Sumit. I was very keen for him to share with you an incident that happened in his life. He's a young entrepreneur. He's 20 years younger than me. So I'm the oldest guy here. But I'm really keen for him to share with you that incident based on which he came up with the task of being an entrepreneur. It's tough to be an entrepreneur as well. It's a long journey. So what led to the starting of Rupeek and the vision that he has? And I'd love to know your thoughts on that, on the larger vision that he has.
What upbringing I had was in a business family, middle class business family in the hinterland of India, in Indore, Madhya Pradesh, where I observed that the businessman has a liquidity mismatch, small or big, doesn't matter. I mean, there will be cycles where you have to arrange for capital, and there will be cycles where you have excess capital, and you manage your family expenses around that, and entire budget around it. So growing up, this was all with my father. I witnessed. Also, what I saw that how much jugaad, or so to speak, India is operating on. There are banks to take deposit money, but there are not banks to give out loan capital, and they're not wrong in doing that. But basically, the data point which is required to give out loan, kaun acha borrower hai, kaun kharab, who is going to default, who is not going to default, that data point is not available, and they have their own struggle in making that happen. So when I joined my family business after graduating from a good business, good engineering school, and then completing another degree, working with some MNC, being taxpayer for a few years, even then I was not able to get credit, and this was again a loan against property. And family business had been running for around 15-20 years or more. So with all that history, tax paying, everything, still getting credit felt like a privilege and not utility. See, for the right borrower, it should be utility, and it's a quite essential component for any business growth, any civilization's growth, if I may put it. And there I realized that the quantum or the amount of capital which is available, the process which is required, it is still very much like only meant for top few people, top few borrowers in the country, and not for masses. And the root cause is not from bank side. A lot of people blame banks or financial services. I mean, they are there to build business. If there is a legitimate business point, they would love to build it. The irony is that India may, and you would be able to relate it, it's a very obvious thing in the hindsight, is that India may, at a household level, you have 95% of the asset ownership in physical form. They will have real estate, koi bangla hoga, zameen hogi, then they will buy gold, and कुछ 5% का उन्होंने FD में जमा किया होगा या current account, savings account में पैसा पड़ा होगा. And that is where the capital is getting stuck. So you have highest amount of physical asset ownership in the world, more than China, Taiwan, USA, UK, any country. Whereas when India goes to borrowing at a household level, 60% of the borrowing happens from unsecured loans, which are not against collateral, which is also highest in the world. So for a country जिसका सबसे ज़्यादा asset ownership है household level पे, वो country में सबसे ज़्यादा unsecured loan जा रहा है. और ये जो unsecured loan जाता है, ये this is how hundi they call it in Mumbai, कच्चे का पैसा, whatnot. So they charge obnoxious interest rate like 5% per month, 10% per month, and whatnot. Now this is, I believe, a very unique India problem. Organized markets, Western countries में problem नहीं है, because this kind of asymmetry on asset and liabilities never exist. And that is what I at least thought to begin with is the root cause of the problem. That no one, whether a technology company or a financial services company, is actually doing anything about monetizing these assets. And result ये है कि इंडिया को borrowing करने के लिए credit नहीं मिलता है तो higher cost पे मिलता है. So that's when we started that. Let's start our journey with gold. People are paying like 30% interest rate annualized for a gold loan asset, which is highly secured. But the long-term ambition is to actually create a financial services organization, which is backed by technology and helping in sort of solving this asymmetry, which is that you have high amount of asset ownership and none of that is monetized.
But it is about making sure every Indian has access to secured credit. and it is their right.
Why I relate to all of this is because, I come from a lower middle class farmer's family. I have seen my father running helter-skelter for loans. I have seen my father hiding in the cane field when he saw the bank jeeps or the cooperative bank jeeps approaching our house. I have seen all of that. I have the first thing when I started earning, the first payment that I got, I immediately traveled back to my village just to pay off the loan of the bank. I have seen that. I have seen how burdened, how humiliating it is for the middle class family, for the lower middle class family. It is to get into the bank. First, you try convince them that you will pay off, and then you are made to feel really, really small. So when the idea of the script came to me, I related to it. It was a personal experience. And when you talk about gold is an asset. I mean, Sumit was so right in saying that there's so much of physical asset, and gold is something which middle class invest in view of two things: A, for the marriages, and B, for the bad times. It's easy to go to the jewelers and sell off your gold, and immediately you get the money. For properties, you still have to put it out in the market and wait for the right buyer to come, and and it takes time. Even if you're going to the bank and if you're taking a loan, so much of paperwork is happening, so much of paperwork that you are dying to have that cash in your hand because it is needed right now. That family cannot wait for another 15 days, a month, just to get that cash. And this is where the success of Rupee lies. You give your gold and you take the cash. When I was shooting for it, and I was having fun and I was cracking jokes, but these are the thoughts which were going in my mind when I was saying my dialogue, when I was doing any scene. It's just that I try to be in a happy mood on the set, so nobody gets to know what exactly is going in your mind. And these were the thoughts which were going in my mind. That it's so visionary. When it comes to a middle class person, it's such a visionary step. He is going to pay off because he wants that jewelry back. He wants his gold back. It is his asset for the future.
Manoj, you've explained it so well that I think we'd be happy to give you an on the spot deputy CEO job at Rupee, should you wish to consider a dual career. We can't have you get missing from the movie industry, but you could have a dual career. People are doing a lot of things these days.
Shalom, thank you very much.
Either we are two fools sharing the same train and time will tell.